Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us live, if you're coming to watch us later, we thank you so much. We have a great show ready for you today, and we're so excited. I'm trying to see who's here with us, Ricardo. Yes, our special guest is here. I was getting a little bit nervous. Billy Joe, welcome.
I love that I'm still called a special guest.
You're always our special guest.
Thank you. Well, listen, tonight, the special guests are really the people that you're about to bring up, right? I saw, Teresa, that you posted something recently that talked about sometimes us not seeing ourselves either in the curriculum or maybe in front of the classroom, maybe in charge of our school district. And for us to be in positions like this to show the different types of Hispanics that are out there handling business to be role models for the next generation is amazing. Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the many generations of families, Hispanic Americans or Hispanic immigrants that have come through and enriched our nation. And I, of course, am going to do what I do every single time and thank both of you for being a role model, not just to students, but to even leaders like myself. And then spreading that love, right? Spreading that love and that passion for education and all the opportunities that it provides. So I want to thank you again for doing what you do and doing it tonight. And I am so excited for the guest that you're about to bring on. So I'm ready to go and back out because I can't wait to listen in and participate. So I'm going to back out now, but I will be, hey, there they are. You surprised me. I was going to actually jump out quickly.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. All right. So, Billy Joe, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guests. But thank you for popping on to say hi to us and for your wonderful words. And we know you're going to be watching. So we'll
thank you, Ricardo and Teresa. And thank you, special guests, for being here. Trust me, our community and our students appreciate this. And no one more than me will be excited to be here in the audience. Have a good time, everybody.
Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, guests, thank you so much. We're about to introduce right now, but just to get it on the table, I just want you to know, we are super nervous today, especially nervous, I think, probably because we have an actual news anchor with us today, and I'm starting to sweat right now, so kind of relax a little bit. Okay, so that's just how to get that out of the way. Okay, so everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are starting our celebration series because we know we celebrate our students all the time, but we need to celebrate our teachers and our adults in our communities. So we are starting today with our very first Hispanic Heritage Month. And before we begin, of course, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Teresa Castro.
And I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we're both technology toasters from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, was being very strongly represented today. We're so excited to be with you. But before we continue, we want to thank so much our HLPTA, the CTA, and also ILC. They're the reason why we get to do this with you every week, why we get to do these trainings and work with you. So thank you so much for giving us this chance to support our teachers and to honor each other. So thank you so much. So the more important people here today, let's go ahead and introduce our guests to you. Click. Thank you. Look at these beautiful pictures. Thank you so much. We are going to introduce you, and we'll give you a chance later to introduce yourselves. I'm going to talk super quick because I know we're a little bit of a time crunch today. So our wonderful Liz Orth, our teacher, our beloved Liz, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to hop around a little bit. And Eric Murillo, thank you for joining us today. You know, we asked him, do you want to join? He was like, yes. And he didn't even have to think about it. So thank you so much. We're so honored to have you here. And of course, last but not least, our Ozzy Azalea. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. You are the reason why I'm nervous today. I'm going to try to relax. Thank you so much. Thank you. We know you are super busy. So thank you, everyone, for joining us in our show. And this is super special to us and our teachers and our district. So thank you so much. So if you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and begin. And we're going to give you all a chance to speak. So click.
Did you want to say how we came about doing this show today?
See, I already forgot. So in case you didn't know, our show is super casual. And so there's going to be a lot of hiccups here and there, but that's just our style. It's okay. All right. So our show today, of course, this is a show very special to us, but it all started because Ricardo was actually a star on Flip on their own show. Sorry, I had to say that, Ricardo. I know you hate me so much. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you, if you don't mind, Ricardo. So Flip, if you don't know Flip, which formerly called Flipgrid, they had this worldwide event that celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month, and they had our very own Ricardo Recinos represent, and we were so proud to see him talk worldwide about the importance of heritage. And we said, you know what, this was such a great show, so important to us and so important to our kids. Why not bring it to our own district? And that is why we are here today. So with permission from Flip, we are here doing this with our own district. So thank you so much, Flip. Thank you, everyone, for all the support to our own wonderful Ricardo Recinos. And thank you again for being here with us. So Ricardo, did I forget anything?
No, let's go. Go ahead.
All right, as always, our purpose for today's show is to provide the space to teach and learn about cultural history and examine the way they influence our world today. So we're here together to honor and celebrate Hispanic heritage, and our wonderful guest speakers will be talking about the importance of heritage and representation for our students, for our community, and for all of us. So let's begin. All right, so our very first guest today, our show is going to be a little bit different format today. For the sake of time, we're going to spend some time with our wonderful Ozzy, and then after that, we're going to bring it back into our district and talk to our teachers for the remainder of the show. So Ozzy, Ricardo and I went back and forth about the best way to introduce you, and we just got tongue-tied, and we didn't know what we were talking about. I think it's best, if you don't mind, if you introduce yourselves to us and our audience. So welcome, and thank you for being here, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, I just have to say, do not be nervous. I'm crazy self. And I have to say, I am so emotional right now because Ricardo and Miss Liz, I have fond memories. So I'm so excited. I just want to say thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart after all these years. Okay. So all right, so my real name is Azalia, so Azalia Mora, but after high school, actually when in college, I changed it up to Ozzy, more of like Ozzy Mora. My mom got so mad, she's like, what are you thinking? I didn't name you after a bear, oso, estás loca, but I was like, people get it, people like it. So born in East LA, raised in the Heights, Hacienda Heights. I started my career actually in high school in production class. And at that point, I had no idea, what I wanted to do. And then I graduated from the University of Laverne right after high school. Not right after high school, but 4 years later. University of Laverne with broadcast journalism. And then from there, I actually started my career as a social media producer out in Phoenix, Arizona for the NBC station there. Again, had no idea what I wanted to do. Bien perdida, And then whatever you put in front of you, decided like, girl, you're going to work the camera. You're going to learn how to edit. And, I put myself there. I was the only Latina actually at that time in the newsroom. And it was very odd to have a bilingual speaker there. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a time where I'm hearing my mom diciéndome, te dije que ibas a necesitar español. And I was like, okay, I need to practice. I actually become a bilingual news anchor. And yeah, that's a little gist about me. Real quick.
And yeah,
thank you so much.
And we're so honored to have you here. And I was telling Teresa, I'm like, this is someone that I love so much, and someone that actually, and I'm going to show this right now, and I don't want to embarrass you, but you're not going to get embarrassed.
Yes, he does.
Someone that walks the talk. Right? We're going to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, and I wanted to talk about the series that you're doing right now, highlighting some of the amazing things that our Hispanics are doing in the community. So I wanted to just show a couple of videos. I'll go through them really fast, not just in front of the camera, but also as a writer, behind the camera, and everywhere. So I'm going to show this really quick, if you don't mind, okay? So here it goes.
And that will be in a special that's hosted by ABC Big 2 News' Ozzy Mora, who is now a board member of directors for the Midland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. You can watch her tell local stories of Hispanic heritage right here on ABC Big 2 News at 5 tomorrow night.
And I actually got to see some of them. I love the format, the story, but also the videos. I'll play a couple of them if I can. Sorry.
Who is now using music to teach the students or her students about the celebration. Bro. Oh my gosh! Same thing, Mo. Better.
So I love you highlighting our first female Latino band for Odessa High School. I also love the one you did on the Barrio Fest. I'll play just 10 seconds of it because I know we have you for very And with the volume up.
Food culture. We traveled to the small town of Fort Stockton where its local theater hosted its first Barrio Fest. A lot of dancing there. We met some people who have lived their entire lives who are working hard to keep their traditions alive.
Honk for service. And you can expect a warm batch of tamales delivered straight to your car.
And we're definitely going to put all of this on the chat, but there was one more. We talk about Hispanic heritage. We cannot talk about it without talking about food, right? So I love this. Was my favorite one, right? And I just play about a 10-second video.
Hey everyone, we continue celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We've already talked about the culture, the people, and now the food. Like my mom says, time is now to quebrar la dieta, to break the diet. So we're gonna go inside right here in Midland with La Patrona Taqueria and see what's cooking up. Let's go on in.
So I wanted to highlight that just really, really quick before we started, right, Teresa?
Aww. Thank you
Sorry.
so much.
Ricardo, I think your sound is bouncing a little bit.
Go ahead.
All right, perfect. Okay, yes, no, we love that. If you don't know, our viewers here are not only teachers and educators, but they're other stakeholders, but also students and families. And so we know a lot of our students will see themselves in you, in our guests today. So thank you so much. And we know as we show those videos, we are so proud that you represent HLPUSD, and our students are probably watching going, wow, how big of a difference we can make after we leave this place. Anyways, I always get carried away. So let's continue. So we just wanted to ask you a few questions for us and for our community. Ozzy, what does Hispanic heritage mean to you?
Sí, claro. So here's the thing. I wrote my answer. So I'm going to look to the left, right, okay? Porque right. So bear with me. Okay? I want to get deep. In this because this is really important. Yes, I'm all like goofy and stuff, but I do hardly care about myself. And I work every single day to make sure we're heard. Hispanic heritage is a part of what defines me and my core values, and being appreciative of anything else, of the sacrifices my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents made to basically give me a better life and give my future relatives and future generations a better life. And it also means to me to carry on your life with courage, love, and persistency. Never give up. The whole si se puede, for me, it's more like ahora es, ahora se pudo, si se pudo. So that's for me what this means for me. And I feel like Hispanic Heritage Month is not just a month, pero todos los días. Tienes que enseñar. You have to show and represent your culture every single day. Whether it's educating somebody or talking to somebody or just being an open book to different cultures and understanding, because that's how you're able to create culture awareness and people have those real conversations, and that's how you're able to develop empathy for other people, people with different backgrounds. So yeah, that's kind of just what it means to me.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Thank you. And it's funny because you're saying you read on the side. I'm like, oh, she's just like us. Thank you so much. Yes, we love that. See, Ricardo, we're still cool. I'm just saying. Okay. No, thanks. So why is it important to teach and learn about heritage? Why do you think it's important?
This is, thankfully I was raised in a family where I didn't really quite understand at that time or know that other people saw me differently, or there was a difference. I didn't know I was a Latina or Hispanic woman just because both my mom is from Jalisco and my dad's from Ecuador, but they didn't really highlight that too much. Like, hey, you're Latina, this is what we do. It was more like, I thought for me, it was just, everyone's just like each other. You know what I mean? I didn't see a difference until I grew up and had to face society, had to feel or face real life. And I think, like I keep saying, I'm going to keep reiterating this, but I think it's important to at least understand the different cultures around us, to at least have those conversations, because like I said, being aware, you're also able to have deeper connections with people. And I think that's what also helps me as a storyteller, and actually me not only being, presentadora, news anchor at the desk, but also being with my community helps me tell their stories better and understand that the struggle is real, and really emphasizing the needs, not for just the Latino Hispanity, but for other communities as well. And just, we're at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? And we all want to be listened to. We all want to feel some sort of love and appreciation. And being aware of that just creates differences in life and the world, and creates leaders like all of us that are here. So that's it.
Tan, tan.
Great job. I'm just kidding. A+. Thank you so much. Because I feel that, in hearing what you said, you're becoming an advocate for all of us, not just your culture, but all cultures around, and allowing us to share our story, and having people like you and all of our guests here be proud and come share and say, you can be proud of yourself. And I know growing up too, I also felt like I didn't notice the difference until I became older. And I think if I was younger, I would have appreciated it more and would have seen those differences and really been able to embrace those within myself, my culture, and other cultures as well. So I like that. Very cool. Thank you. It's very validating for me, at least. Ricardo, how about you?
The same. Obviously, I was telling someone last week, I left El Salvador when I was 14, escaping a civil war. And for the longest time, I denied my culture because I always heard it was negative. And it took going back and relearning about my roots to start feeling proud of who I am, and seeing myself and my mom and my grandma and the sacrifices. So I completely agree with you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's not just, not noticing it. Sometimes it's even hiding it, right? And so I think these conversations are so powerful because we're telling our kids, you don't have to be ashamed. There, you are here, you have a purpose, and let's be proud of what makes us different. So I love this conversation. Okay, so next, I can go on forever. I know. Okay, stop. All right, here we go. Share one. I know. Can we just stay here for a few hours? Okay, share one successful way you help your community feel proud of their heritage. We know you do many. Feel free to share more than one.
We just saw one, right? As she's highlighting all of these different, But go ahead.
What would you like to share?
Man, I'm such an open book to that. In my field of work, there's always a difficult balance, you could say, because about all people, right? We need to, as a journalist, you're not just taking sides, whether it be culture, political, whatever, you have to be open. But there's room to always celebrate a background or a heritage, for example, being a Hispanic woman, and as we know, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. This is a month where, I really take pride in, because I was raised in deep roots of Mexicanos, Ecuadorianos, I mean, everything, But I think being involved with local groups, I remember in high school, I was involved, but I do regret not being more involved, because I think I would have learned, and like how you guys keep bringing up, I think I would have understood more the impact those groups make. And now that I'm an adult and now being involved in those groups, it helps me feel proud of myself, but also I get to celebrate other people. And I think that's what makes me feel better and more of a human and more understanding, is that when you celebrate people, that's sort of like a self-reward, because it's self-awareness, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people think that you just got to celebrate yourself, you know what I'm saying? But I think when you create a space and give other people from different backgrounds to speak, even their challenges, even the concerns that they have, and you try to find a solution and you create this environment of creating solutions, I feel it's more powerful than anything, and I feel that's the way that I'm able to be proud of my heritage and be proud of other people's background as well. So for me, that's success, is when you're able to celebrate other people and understand where other people come from. That's just a little bit, I guess.
I love that. And, as we talk about what makes us different, it actually shows us how similar we really are. in our differences. So yeah, and we're giving them that voice. So absolutely. Yeah. And I consider that one successful way, a very big successful way to make our community feel proud of their heritage. So thank you. We want to talk about so much and we want to stay longer, but before we let you go, please don't escape yet. We want to talk about, if you haven't noticed yet, our viewers, if you haven't noticed, our guests here are specially picked. Not only are they amazing people, but they're fruits of Hacienda La Puente. If you didn't know that, did we forget to say that? I'm sorry, we probably did.
I think we did.
Yeah, and our guests here have all of that in common. They actually went through the system Hacienda La Puente, so we are proud to have them here. And Ozzy, we know, especially Liz here with us, and we want to hear a little bit about that story before you go. So how do you know each other?
Are you asking? Oh, you're gonna ask Ozzy?
I'm asking Ozzy, and then you can jump in too.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, you may cry.
Yeah, see first. This is the first
I'm
time.
gonna start crying.
Yes.
Okay, go Liz.
So Ozzy was in my Spanish class, and one of the things that I never forgot her. She sat in the front of my class, very front, center front, right in front of me. And I think I told her that one time. I'm like, I even know exactly where you sat. And I always tell the story that I take a picture of every one of my classes every time I teach. So somewhere in my archives, I have Ozzy in my class in a picture format. But I always tell the kids, one day, one of you guys are going to make it big and you're going to make me proud. And I always say my number one star student was Ozzy Mora.
Aww.
That's a true story, Ozzy. She says that.
So she did tell us that. That's so true.
Oh my God. So ever since then, we found each other on social media. And Miss Orth, did my brother take your class or was it Mr. Racino's?
I think your brother took my class. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so my brother, the purpose from that story, the band story that you guys saw, was for my brother. So he's on the spectrum and he had a very, very tough time in high school. And that's also why I became a journalist, because I wanted there to be self-awareness. Sorry, I'm like crying. But this is really meaningful that you guys do this, because it really motivates people. And I'm so sorry. And so I'm really proud to be here and to be an alum from the high school and still have the connections with my former teachers. So please continue this, because you just don't know whose lives you're gonna change. So I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm teary-eyed.
I'm sorry. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional, but it's really powerful.
Yeah, and I have to say, I didn't have the honor to have Ozzy in my class, but I always follow you because of your brother and because of Liz. I saw you doing the internships, for the radio station, right? And then moving your whole life because this was your dream that you wanted to follow and you wanted to accomplish. And just to see you, through social media and be able to see what you've done and how you get to basically influence so many people, with just being in front of the camera every day, just like you're doing right now with our students that are watching this and our parents, and feeling proud that this is someone that came from our district and someone that we have, that we can be like, yeah, she's one of ours. Yeah, very amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely, I'm so thankful you guys reached out to me. And, I just want to reiterate, just remember where you come from, and it always follows you no matter what. And it does change even as an adult. There's always room for growth and room for change and room for acceptance. So no matter how old you are.
Yes, thank you so much. I know for sure, our students see themselves in you. Those who are watching right now see themselves, see the hope and, what can happen if you do your best in school and everything that you set your mind to. But not only that, the teachers who are watching really need something like this, because this is a time that's really hard for teachers. And sometimes we wonder, are we really making an impact right now? Where some of us are drowning and just seeing what a difference teachers can make and how much we mean to you and our students. And we forget that sometimes. So thank you for reminding us that, and giving us this energy that we need to go on in a time where sometimes we don't know if we can. So thank you so much for being with us. We would love for you to stay. Please stay as long as you like, but we know, you are a busy person, and we're so honored to have you here. And Ricardo, I'm sure
I was gonna say that we were actually really worried because we were like, is she gonna make it? And I know you were recording a TV spot, right? Right before you got here. So we were like, oh my God, she's so glad that she's here, and we're so happy to have you. Yeah.
I'm gonna hop off and get ready to do the Fox show, but I just want to know I do have to do everything right. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on, and I hope that in any other projects or anything, you guys will think of me. And for anyone else that's listening, like, just power through and just know that if you feel lost or you feel like there's no path forward, there's always a solution forward. There's one thing, I know this is kind of like pretty like, oh, scary, but one thing I learned in life, there's always a solution in life but death, and that's one thing that I carry with me every single day to help me push forward no matter what. So
and thank you for saying that. We know a lot of people needed to hear that too. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ozzy. Do you want to say goodbye to Ozzy?
Ozzy, you are wonderful.
Bye, Miss Orth. You're the best. Muchos besitos. Bye, Mr. Retinos.
Adios. Nos vemos.
Bye.
We love you.
Hugs, un abrazo.
Un abrazo.
Bye.
Bye. How inspiring
All right.
is she? She is so
Oh my God,
inspiring.
yes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to go there with the emotions.
But don't leave. No escaping, okay? Our show is not done. We have some great guests we're going to continue with, so no leaving anybody. Okay, so we're bringing it back to Hacienda La Puente and, celebrating Hispanic heritage, but here with our own teachers as well. And this has just worked out so well. So again, thank you so much, Eric and Liz, for being here with us. But we're going to now focus on our kids, current kids, and our current classes right now. And so we have some pictures of our amazing students here. Ricardo, do you want to talk about these pictures a little bit?
Yeah, these are just a small sample of what our students are doing to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And I just wanted to highlight some of them. Our amazing vapatosas have been going everywhere. I know they went to your class, Liz, but also to the elementaries as they are showing our students how to create or how to make their own watermelon worry dolls. I hope I said that right, but that's what they're doing. And you see some of the kids right here building their own little dolls in there, right? I think this picture right here was actually one of your students, Liz, in your class that was actually making that doll. I also was able to see our Workman Elementary kids celebrating, and talking about heritage and what it means to them, or what it means to them as a whole. They also got to play this whole school-wide loteria, from what I heard, which was kind of cool how they did it. It was very different. And finally, we talked about Flip, and we talked about our event that it was an honor to be part of. Our students are using Flip on a daily basis. You're actually going to see some samples today. And this is actually one of our students using green screen and Flip to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So we wanted to highlight some of them. And I know you wanted to do a video first, Teresa, is that correct?
Yes. So the two of you, you're going to be in a hot seat now. We're going to ask you the same questions, but in between our questions, we're going to play a few videos to show off and showcase some of our kids. So
before we start, let me go ahead and go there. Let me go ahead and bring it in. And then let's go to Isabella, who Los Altos Elementary. We use green screen to make this work. I'm going to turn my sound on, and I want you to see, she's going to talk about Roberto Clemente. En español.
Hola, me llamo Isabela Ruiz y la persona que investigué fue Roberto Clemente. Él nació en agosto 18, 1934. Unas cosas interesantes de su vida es que ganó 25 trofeos y ganó 2 series con su equipo Pittsburgh Pirates. Él murió en diciembre 31, 1972. Gracias por escuchar mi información sobre Roberto Clemente.
Now, if you think that's easy, that is not easy. She's in front of the camera with green screen, and look at her memorizing or knowing about Roberto Clemente. Just amazing, right?
Amazing. That's amazing.
All right, Ricardo, stop sharing your sound.
Sure, sorry about that.
Sorry, everyone. If you don't know, whenever he shares his sound, we get this echo. So we'll be going back and forth. But he's amazing at juggling all this. So let's continue. So our very first question, we already feel like we know you right now, but we want to know more. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Liz, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Eric. So Liz, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here to represent for Hispanic Heritage Month. So I am actually a product of the district. I graduated from Glenn A. Wilson High School back, I won't say what year, but back in the 80s. And because I was like, oh, kind of dates me. But I love the community. I don't know, I no longer live in the community, but my parents still live here. And I just grew up in the community. I went to college. I went to Cal State Fullerton right after high school, and when I got my teaching credential, it was like my first experience was to be a teacher at Hacienda La Puente. So I was honored to be part of the staff at Wilson. I still am here today. 25 years, yeah, 25 years in the district, and super proud to be a Hacienda La Puente teacher. So what else? I'm Mexican, so we're talking about Hispanic heritage. So Mexicana. All right, so there I am.
What an honor to teach where you actually graduated. I would love that so much. Very cool. All right, I love it. Okay, Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Murillo, and I am an aspiring Spanish teacher. I also am a product of Hacienda La Puente. I graduated Los Altos High School in 2015, and I identify as Hispanic, so I'm happy to be a guest. And yes, getting my foot into the district that I went to has been one of the biggest accomplishments for me.
And Eric was just in the right place at the right time. We were talking about this show, and we're like, wait, you! And instead of running away, he was like, yes, I'll do it. And so, so thank you. So we're so happy you're here, to hear your perspective. We love it. So thank you. So yeah, so you're from this district, and here you're working in this district. What a gift. We love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and Ricardo, do you want to share one before our next question?
Yes, let me go ahead and share another one. So as we were doing, and let me go ahead and share the screen right now. 1 second. Let me go ahead and go back. Hopefully, that's not the one that I want to use. So yeah, you saw Isabella, but I'm going to show you a different Isabella. But I want you to see how talented our students are. So green screen, she did do her project on Chavela, but also she decided to show a little bit more than that. Let's watch her sing.
I can barely hear it.
I can change it.
And she is amazing. And I heard it. I was like, better than the movie. And she's our own student, so we're so proud, and we're so excited to share.
And if you have not seen her whole full mariachi outfit with her parents and brothers singing behind her as they play the music for her, it's incredible. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna fix that sound again for you, and we're going on to our next question. So what does Hispanic heritage mean to you, Eric and Liz? We're going to start with Eric this time. What does Hispanic heritage mean to you exactly?
Yes, I think for me, Hispanic Heritage Month is a month dedicated to the celebration and recognition of Hispanic Americans, but I think not only famous people, but people like me, people like you guys, who overcome so much struggles in navigating through systems that aren't made for people like us. So I think it's really celebrating us and our accomplishments and being recognized for them.
Wow.
Eric, I was listening to you, and then I was looking at this humongous comment. I'm trying to multitask, but your answer
That's
was
me.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Such an important month for all. So yes, I totally agree. And I was gonna try to summarize what you said, but it was so perfect that I'm sorry, you just kind of took my words away. Perfect. How about you, Liz? What does Hispanic heritage mean to you?
You know, I love Hispanic Heritage Month because it allows us to highlight, you know, all the richness that our culture has. And, you know, when we talk about Hispanic culture, you know, it's so diverse. There's so much to celebrate, not just from our, you know, our people from the South, but more from South America and Central America and the Caribbean. And so there's so much to celebrate. Also, I think that it's important to bring awareness to our community and to our school about, you know, that we're really proud people as a whole, and that our stories have that we've overcome obstacles. And then the best part about it too is that we can give hope for the future, and like what is there for the future for our people, Hispanic people, and also just, you know, to be able to share everything that our culture has. Our culture is not just about, like, you know, our food and our products and it's about sharing our perspective, and it's about sharing you know, where we've come from and where we're heading to the future. So yeah.
Yes, and you know, we love to learn that, because you know, sometimes we just don't know. You know, you don't know what you don't know, and so you said, you know, there's so many different things within Hispanic heritage. It's not just one thing. It's not just about the food. It's not just about this. And so, you know, this gives us a chance to learn about one another. So it's very important. All right, so I know Ricardo wanted to show.
I know you didn't ask me the question, but I actually want to answer that question.
Because you're already on
No, because to me, it also means being thankful, and being thankful for the sacrifices that my mom made for us having better opportunities here. Also, it means celebration, right? Being able to celebrate our stories, our cultural backgrounds, our contributions, right? So that our students can see themselves in us, which brings me back to representation. So I wanted to make sure that I answer at least one question today.
You're welcome to. I want to answer too, but I'm not really qualified on this one. I'm gonna have to wait till next month.
But I know you wanted to also share one more video, right? Is that correct? Before we move on, so let me move on, and we're gonna go to a different elementary school, and I wanted to share this one really quick. Let me turn the sound on, and I'll turn it off. I promise. Here it goes.
Hi, my name is Gracie, and the person that I research is Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo was born on July 6, 1907. She was married to Diego Rivera. She had this disease called polo, and it damaged her right leg. She died July 13, 1954.
Amazing, right? They're amazing.
That's cute. I just can't. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Ricardo. Okay, so why is it important to teach, learn about heritage? Eric, I'm going to have you go first. I feel like you've been on our show before. You're like pro. Why is it important to teach and learn about heritage?
Yeah, I think it's important to learn and teach about heritage because not only does it expand diversity, but it creates visibility and gives a voice to many minorities and people that don't have that voice. And I think people should take some time to learn about some of the impact that Hispanic individuals have, and this transmits a message, just creates a better world, I think.
Absolutely. And, you know, I love that, you know, giving the visibility and giving a voice to those who don't usually have a voice, right? So, yes, absolutely. You read my mind. Thank you, Eric. Okay, how about you, Liz?
Wow, he said such great things.
You did.
You know, it's, you know, I think that it's important to teach about heritage because I think we need to teach kids about being empathetic in general to all people.
Yes.
I think it's really important. I think students need to see that they need to be proud of who they are and where they come from. It's like, as I think Ricardo was saying too, I felt the same way. Like, I think I was just a quote kid like everybody else in high school, and not that I took Spanish, but you know, I was in my Spanish classes, and that's the only time I really spoke about my heritage or about my language. And when outside of school, I was just with my friends and hanging out and just being a regular teen. But then as soon as I went home, I spoke Spanish, I ate the foods, I, you know, talked to my parents about different things, and it felt like, I was kind of hiding. I don't want to say embarrassed, but I didn't have the need to be able to express myself. And I think it's a different world. I think it's super important to teach kids that you need to be proud of who you are and where you come from. And that in turn makes kids believe in themselves. And then they do better in school. And, and also to celebrate when our Hispanic students do well. I feel like all of that is important. So in teaching about heritage brings that part of students out.
Absolutely. And, it's talking about these, being proud of what makes you unique and different, and having this appreciation of other cultures. How different would this world be if we saw and we learned about each other and appreciated each other? Things would be so different. Don't you think? So many things would be different.
Yeah, I was talking
So what you're doing is so important.
I was talking to our ethnic studies TOSA, Dr. Haprid, and I asked her the question, right? And her answer was because it leads to a better understanding of social change over time.
Wow.
And I thought that was such a great answer, right? I'm not only us appreciating our own cultures, right? Being able to connect with our cultures, but gaining perspective about our own culture, right? Our past and how that affects our future, but learning about others, right? And learning how it's important to not just preserve our heritage, but also others. So I thought that was pretty amazing when I was talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go to our last question, we had a guest who wanted to be with us today. She really wanted to be with us, but couldn't be with us. And so she made a little video to carry on our topic today. So let's go ahead and watch.
So Araceli really wanted to be with us today. She tried to make it, but she went ahead and recorded a video for us. Also a product of Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. So let's go ahead and listen to her.
We need sound.
Oh, let me go back. Sorry about that. See? We always have that. Here it goes.
Everybody, all this fanciness.
Ricardo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Araceli Garcia, and I am an alumni of HLP USD. I attended Baldwin, then Grandview, and graduated from Workman High School. I am now excited to be working as a district ELA TOSA, teacher on special assignment, where I get to support teachers from middle school and high school in all types of content areas, especially ELA. Growing up, I didn't really have a cultural identity. I was just living. We grew up very poor. I lived in La Puente, and my family worked at the local swap meet, at the violent swap meet. I didn't know English when I first started school, so I struggled a lot in my classes. Gladly, very happy to say that my teachers helped me along the way. I took different types of classes, especially honors classes when I got to high school, and teachers kind of encouraged me. I now work for UCLA Center X as a teacher consultant. And as I said, I've had an opportunity to work with many, many students who I'm so proud of. I think it's important to know your cultural background. I identify as a Chicana activist, working with all types of students, all types of people, but especially helping out our low-income Latinx community to make sure that they reach their goals and their dreams. So happy, Hispanic Heritage Month, and I will see you around.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Araceli.
Thank you, Araceli.
We know she couldn't join us. She wanted to, and so she recorded that video. So thank you. All right. So let's go on to our last question. And Ricardo's going to fix the sound one last time.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. See?
Okay. It's okay. Share one successful way you help your students feel proud of their heritage. So any one way you want to share, it could be something you've already done or something you plan to do. Liz, we'll have you go first. Go ahead and share one successful way.
I have two really great ideas that I have done. One of them, I had my students that were Hispanic students. I had them record themselves singing with a grandparent or a parent or an uncle. And I have to say, there's one particular student, I want to say 10 years ago. And I've kept those videos of, they were projects. So I had them on my hard drive in my computer. Her grandmother had passed away. And she reached out to me and she's all, Mrs. Orth, do you have my project where I was singing with my grandmother? And it makes me teary eyed just to think about it. I literally shared it on YouTube. That was the way I could share it with her. So at her grandmother's funeral, played that presentation where she's singing a Spanish song with her grandma. That's one of the ways. So, incorporating your heritage with your grandparents, with your parents, with an uncle, with, your Nina or whoever. And it was a very meaningful project for them to do. And so they were a little like, oh my God, you want me to sing? And I'm like, yeah, but with your grandma. And so that was a very meaningful one. Another one I just want to share too is I teach Spanish IB International Baccalaureate, and it is a very culturally based class. And so one of the projects that I assigned, I had a student whose grandparent spoke Nahuatl, another language of not Spanish, but another form of it. And he interviewed his grandfather on Zoom. We were during pandemic, set it up for him to be able to do a Zoom with the grandparents, trying to tell us about the Nahuatl and how he came to this country and his struggles. And so I thought that was a very meaningful project too, and talking about their story, their family story, about how they came, how it came to be that they came to the United States. So those are two very meaningful projects that I can think of that really affected my students.
I have to
more, but he's raising his hand.
No, I before you say it, I have to add another one. When I was in the classroom with Liz, we were co-advisors for Mecha, and we put together this talent show where it became bigger than we thought it was going to be. It was supposed to be for Wilson, and it became all of the high schools in our district wanted to be part of it. So, and we had our students reciting poems in Spanish. You had them dancing salsa, merengue. We have Battle of the Bands where the kids were actually singing rock en español. Liz, that was an event where you affected. And I wanted to make sure you said, I brought that up.
And how amazing that is for our students, and I'm sure like those acts that you feel like might be small means the world to our kids. So just please continue, teachers, if you're listening, continue to do that, continue to make connections for your kids. So wow, I love those stories. Okay, Eric, it's your turn. What's a successful way you help your students feel proud of their heritage?
Yes, so with my Spanish 1 class, as soon as the calendar hit September 1st, it was like, we're gonna learn about Hispanic Heritage Month. I taught a lesson about the context. It was why, who created it, its origins, and then I really wanted to make an emphasis with my kids about the concepts of what culture is and tolerance. So, being tolerant about the distinct backgrounds that students bring with them. And we closed the lesson with students doing a research assignment where they chose a Hispanic American and presented it to the class.
Are you sure you're just starting as a teacher?
Right?
Eric, you're amazing. That's amazing. And I would have loved to be part of that too, and to really access my heritage and have the voice to do that with teachers like you. So please keep it up. I'm just, wow. I'm amazed. Eric, thank you for sharing that.
Gracias.
Ricardo, I know we want to say so much more, but we're trying to watch our time as well. And I love the show. I love being able to talk about your stories and, going back to the impact you have on our kids, and the fact that you actually came from our district just makes it so much more special for us. So thank you for that. And Billy, I don't know where you're getting all this research. Did you see all the paragraphs he has on Eric? We couldn't even read it fast enough. Eric, we're gonna have to go back to the comments and see. He must be a big fan.
Me, though. Yeah, I think you can Google my name and a bunch of stuff come out from like my research and stuff.
That's amazing. But it was just great, right? To hear, Wilson, Los Altos, right? Baldwin, just everywhere in our district, right? Workman, yeah, amazing.
Yes, and we know we have viewers from all over, not just from Hacienda La Puente, but we know we are all proud of our own districts and proud of where we come from. And everyone, let's be proud of who we are, especially our culture and our heritage, and let's keep it going. And this is not going to be the last of the show. We know we're coming up. I think next month is Ricardo, what's next month, if I'm not mistaken?
I think we are celebrating Filipino Heritage Month. Is that correct?
And
Am I
that
right?
I guess that means I get to answer some questions next month. Not just you, Ricardo, but yeah, thank you so much to our guests for making time. We know. Oh wait. Billy Joe said, I pulled up information on Liz, but there are just pictures of Ricardo and Liz.
You know,
That must have been it's our famous trip to New Mexico for IB, Liz.
Oh,
where
is
you
that
almost
what it
didn't
is?
get. I'm
Oh
just.
my gosh.
Everyone, there are stories.
go
There are
way
more
back.
stories, okay? And we'd love to stay, but we can't. And but we thank you so much, and look forward to our other episodes. Of course, we're going to come in for more trainings, but come in for more episodes like this, which touches us in our hearts and inspires us to do even better. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you soon. And thank you to our guests. Thank you so much. See you soon,
Gracias.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.